everyone. Welcome to Project Parents United, a unique platform where we discuss children's health issues, parenting issues directly with professionals that take care of our children. We know children thrive on structure and routine. So as parents, we often fill their schedule with one activity or another. But sometimes it's okay for them to get bored and have some downtime with no planned activities. It's also true for babies. We don't have to keep them constantly entertained or engaged. This is the concept of independent playtime or unstructured playtime that fosters creativity and critical thinking. To talk more about this, I'm joined by Dr. Sandeep Reddy. She's a pediatrician, a mommy of two, and has been practicing for over 20 years in Henderson, Nevada. Let's see what she has to say about this topic. Hi, Dr. Reddy. How are you? Welcome to Project Parents United.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. This is a great initiative.
Thank you. We're so excited to speak with you. We all know structure and schedule is really important for our kids, but so is downtime. And it's important that we give our kids opportunities to play independently by themselves. And now I don't mean giving them a TV, having them see TV or, give them a tablet. And it's also true for little babies. We don't really have to keep them entertained or constantly entertained. So can you please tell us what is independent playtime or unstructured playtime?
So unstructured playtime basically is playtime where the child comes up with their own set of rules, their own ideas, and there are no predetermined goals. And children sort of are the leaders and they take charge of the situation.
Well, why is it so important for babies to be engaged in independent play? And what are some of the benefits for older children?
So I think independent play, it really fosters, self-reliance. You're not looking up to somebody to have everything pre-organized for you. And there is a lot of data to support it. Like if, you look at a typical American child's schedule, it's packed full with school and then after school activities, piano, karate, you name it. So it's very important. Research shows that there should be actually twice the time of unstructured play. As much of structured play you have. And there is so much backing through research that this is critical for children. There is animal studies that have done that show that, it develops their frontal cortex, which is helps with the higher functioning. So, they're doing critical thinking, they're doing problem solving, social interactions. So the benefits of unstructured play are just, limitless.
I see. It's so good to hear, as parents, we feel, as I talked before, that we have to keep our babies engaged. Let's give them activity after activity. But it's very reassuring when pediatricians tell us that, the literature is out there. Give your children some downtime, let them play. But as far as babies are concerned, as babies are getting older, they're also starting to be up for longer stretches of time. What are some tips for parents to, help them fit in independent playtime in their routine?
So I would say for babies, I would find it depends on the developmental stage that the baby is in. So if the baby is still in the crib and are not rolling over, you could have, play gyms and with which the baby can, visually and, reach out and interact. If the baby is old enough where they're doing tummy time, you could have them in a safe place on the floor and give them a lot of toys where they can reach and develop those motor skills. And, same thing for toddlers. Like the key is as long as it's a safe environment, you can leave them with few toys where they can find activities and keep themselves entertained, as opposed to always having a parent or a caregiver there, watching them and interacting with them.
I see. No, this is great. I think a lot of parents, as they hear this, they are already thinking, well, independent playtime means time, mommy time or daddy time. Parents are getting time for themselves. So these are some fantastic tips. And if you could give us some examples for, let's say, older children, what could be some ways that they can be involved in independent play?
So independent play, could be outdoors. Like there are so many activities. They can, go bicycle riding, play in their neighborhood with the other children of different age groups. Other things that they can do is in their own backyard, looking for bugs and taking things and digging, playing in a sandbox. So a lot of just unstructured play. The key is sometimes they say, it's okay to let the children be bored because it has them become more creative to find their own ideas to entertain themselves. So again, it goes back to creating so many skills like self-reliance, social interaction, problem solving, getting along with their peers, making their own set of rules, and leadership skills. So again, benefits of independent unstructured play are so many.
Right. And this is so critical. You meant, as in our growing up times too, I think parents are going back to intuitive parenting, going back to their basic instincts. We all know we grew up playing outside and outdoors, and honestly, children are learning about textures, and so important. They're also learning to get bored, and it's fine. And they're finding ways to entertain themselves. But it's also important to understand that unstructured playtime does not mean unsupervised playtime. Parent has to be around and has to supervise. So what are some important pointers for parents?
Yeah, I think that's very important because sometimes when you talk about unstructured playtime, parents think it's unsupervised. So it's unstructured, but still, within safety. And these days, we could, as parents, use technology for that, right? Children have smart watches, they have smartphones. I'm talking about older kids, and they can have boundaries with that. Parents could be within an earshot or within an eye shot, but giving them their own space so that as a parent, you're not stepping in to resolve every conflict. You're not sort of making the rules for the play, and just kind of watching and giving them that independence, but knowing that you're right there to step in if there is need.
And from our conversation, I think it's very clear that independent playtime is important for a child's development. We get a break as well as parents. It's for our sanity, and they can be taught to engage in it early on. So I think the key is for parents to be persistent. I guess the babies and children will pick it up eventually.
Absolutely. I think that's their natural instinct to interact and play and have a good time.
Right. No, thank you. I really, really appreciate this conversation, Dr. Reddy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
We hope you found this information useful, and don't forget to tell us what you think. You can also connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, or visit us at www.projectparentsunited.com.